Hello everyone, Richard back for more Panzer Corps Ultimate Mode. I have some exciting news on this map. I was able to get a decisive victory. I think it's repeatable, I think it's robust, and it's actually a fairly low risk process. Soren led the way with initial deployment and strategies, and then I had to make some updates because I have 5 fewer turns. But the gist of it is Oladir will be around here. He'll sneak through and close in on this city, which has a pioneer in it. And then you're going to eventually detrench it, and then Oladir kicks him out and occupies this city, which will generally be safe. Put that in quotes. The next thing is my defense +2 mountain unit is going to be hanging around over here. After I clear everything out, he's going to sit in this city and entrench, and nobody will touch him. The third thing is I'm going to be moving as fast as possible in this region, crack this early so I can sneak a infantry unit in to block this hex. And Soren found the trick with his anti-aircraft mobile anti-air. After it's done killing planes, just park it here, blocking unit purchases from this hex. And I will ignore these 3 hexes, and the AI will be attracted to attacking that hex, but I'm going to have a heavily entrenched mountain unit, and everything's going to be fine, because these 2 I can watch. This one has a mountain unit, this has Oladir, this will be occupied, and they could buy something here, but it's way too slow for them to get here, so I can abandon this hex. And they're going to be more focused on this hex. And outside of that, my initial deployment is slightly different because I don't have a range +1, and I had brought 8 artillery pieces. It's part of the key, is you got to destroy the initial attack wave, not necessarily as brutally as fast as possible, but you need to be able to clean it up fairly quickly. And then I set a bunch of traps along the way that accelerate the collapse of the defenses. Oh, I need to mention something. I hope Soren's watching this. 1 second. Okay. He sets a trap with a recon on this spot, and he puts mobile anti-air here and a fighter. I was unable to trigger that, and the only difference I can see with this fighter trap is that he had overstrength on Kesha, and Kesha was 2 stars. And maybe Kesha is not strong enough to deter an air attack. But I did something that I think is slightly better. The other thing to be mindful of is the fighter trap he sets with Lent. You're going to see that it executes slightly differently with my layout. I don't know why, unless there's like a random number generator on which path a plane takes. But his second fighter trap didn't work, but it worked out in my favor anyway. So not really a big deal. I'm not really sure why there was a difference, because our layouts were almost exactly the same. But I actually had fewer issues killing things because the initial weather for me was really good. I do have a movement +1 on artillery, which I finally can get to use. We're shifting a bunch of artillery north because you're going to need it. Wow, that was my attack plus 3 fighter, so that was amazing. It worked out better, actually, with the way it went down. I forgot to attack with my anti-aircraft gun. Now I just noticed that. You have to take out that anti-aircraft gun. Unlucky roll. Oh, I had spare artillery. That was just stupidity on my part. Yeah, I'm not... There's some inefficiencies here now that I look. You have time to move pretty aggressively on turn 2. You should exploit it. And now I'm running with the scout. You want to get the scout out as fast as possible. Too bad they didn't fall for that trap. So now I'm setting traps. There's no way the cavalry can see that, and they're going to go after it. And I'm trying to outflank them in the south. So now my 88 gun can kill that tank. You gotta rush a bunch of units. And fighters mostly de-entrench. It really accelerates the collapse of the defenses. So the scout grabbing the airfield and pulling out is a really good idea because it de-entrenches the infantry. So you actually are not in as big a hurry as Soren makes it seem for the decisive. I'm actually able to just very safely and systematically wipe units out with no effort. And then I got a useless spotting hero. And I'm preventing that unit from reinforcing too much. Then I set a trap. That juicy Panzerjäger looks really good. Look at how much I've accomplished on turn 5. And all their scouting is gone. So on turn 5, let me point this out. On turn 5, I'm already de-entrenching this guy. And how much does he have? So he was at 6 entrenchment, he's now at 5, and I'm going to be signing my fighters to de-entrench him. By the time he's de-entrenched, I'll have collapsed this and I'm ready to shove him out. The objective is to get your infantry here by turn 10. That is not a lot of time, so you have to start removing obstacles immediately. And there's not much left here, and this heavy weapons infantry is going to get pulled out, which is going to make your life a lot easier. And then you gotta rush your artillery as fast as possible. Just shove it forward. They don't have scouting anymore, so the tanks are not going to come out. So that heavy weapons infantry is in trouble. So once again, I'm offering the Panzerjäger as bait, but I don't think the Samoa is on active, so... So now, the goal is to kill that, tank. If you kill that tank, you've completely blinded them, and you can use that. Your scouts getting set up. You're getting your air defenses set up as well. You gotta start softening everything up. So this went really well for my anti-tank. That's another tough unit that you put into its bad spot. And another trick is you can put that scout there, and the infantry will attack your scout. So I've totally collapsed the north, and the south is falling quickly too. And and all the planes just park above your air defenses. And they don't move. So once you take the fighter out, you're good. So on turn 8, you are seriously assaulting deep into the enemy territory here. You have to kill this infantry, though. Because the tanks will come north if they can see you. Now you gotta hide everybody. I'm next gonna pull that anti-tank out. I don't have artillery prepared, but that's okay. It'll give my it'll give the Panzerjäger good experience. So that worked out really well for me. That's more prestige for you to earn later. The way is open. You have till turn 10, so I'm just getting everything set up so I can, and then I'm setting up so I can block purchasing up there. Boom. The next trick is park your Panzerjäger by the Pioneer, because apparently the Pioneer will attack it. And I think it's worth it, because it weakens the Pioneer for you. So that objective is much easier. Now my Panzerjäger takes a beating, but it also hit 2 stars, so it's hard to complain. So I'm already working on de-entrenching on turn 10. Once you're at this stage, then your bombers just attack the tanks, because you want to freeze them in place so they don't attack your units in the south. And the 88 gun is going south to try to clean up anything. And Kesha got the 2 stars, which is good. And then I force a surrender on the anti-tank. My 88 gun is going to keep an entire division of tanks occupied, along with the Air Force. There's plenty of good stuff to do for the Air Force. And just like that, you don't have a problem. Now the AI is like, uh-oh. It's buying things, but it's a little late. As you can see, I'm going to get rain on the final turn, which is unpleasant. Look at that 88 gun. Now I force a surrender on this objective. And then my scout's job is done. And then I got that unit to abandon its hex, so that's more prestige I get. Another surrender. Man, that scout has been very helpful. And then the AI gets confused. They don't know what to do. Beautiful decisive victory. Did I never grab that hex? I never grabbed that hex. So there's like 25 prestige I left on the table. Maybe 50. I don't know if I ever had a good opportunity to get this. With rain on the final turn, I could have gotten this if I didn't have rain on the final turn. But there's only 2 tanks left. This annoying artillery piece. And one more turn and I could have snatched that. But yeah, there's not much left. I mean, these guys are 3 turns away from grabbing this. I say this is total domination. I didn't get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I didn't get 8 hexes. So that could probably get you could probably get 2 more, and that's it. This strategy of blocking them up here is really good. It prevents you, it stops you from having to worry about this victory hex. And this is pretty safe and repeatable. 7, 8, 9... 14, 15. I think I took 15 total damage. And I think I had something like 155 in elite replacement costs. And 2/3 of that was the Panzer Jaeger and Scout. So it was totally worth it. I got so much prestige. So I remember Bricata saying it wasn't possible to get a decisive victory. If you look at how he played the scenario, he was not even close to this, but that's just because new strategies and new tricks, blocking up here with an anti-aircraft, Soren's placement for quickly finishing off units is more efficient than anything we've had before, and you saw me use that to great effect. And the other thing I did is I didn't freak out about this counterattack. If you just patiently set up ambushes, twice I pulled units out over here in the woods, and that allowed me to mop them up and then proceed efficiently. It should work consistently. The Panzer Jaeger is a target the AI will go after over and over again. And notice the Panzer Jaeger's 2 stars, so that was absolutely worth it. He's 2 stars. Kesha is now 2 stars. So that's really good, and I'm working on my 2nd star on that guy. He is 2 stars, and he's not 2 stars yet. Anyway, until next time, Richard out.